The movie starts and we see a girl named Joey. Joey is very happy because after one whole year she is finally going to meet her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, Dean, had gone to Canada for work. After completing his duty there for a full year, he is now on his way back home. Joey's mother hands her a set of car keys so she can drive to meet him. This is where we learn that Joey is deaf and mute. She cannot speak at all. Her mother warns her, saying the road she is about to take is very dangerous, so she must be careful. Joey replies to her mother in sign language, telling her not to worry and that she will reach safely. After that, Joey gets into the car and drives off toward her boyfriend's house. She is extremely excited to see him after so long. On the way, she spots a small shop on the side of the road and she stops her car. It is a gift shop, run by an old man who sells handmade items. Joey buys a few gifts for her boyfriend from the old man. Then she climbs on top of her car, takes a selfie, and sends it to Dean, so he knows she is on the way and will arrive soon. Dean sees the photo and is overjoyed. After that, Joey gets back on the road and continues her journey. While driving, she starts using her phone and her attention drifts away from the road. Suddenly, an injured man appears right in front of her car. Joey slams the brakes hard. The car swerves and skids to a stop a little far away, but the man's life is saved. However, as soon as Joey looks out, the man collapses on the ground. Joey thinks about helping him. But just then, she notices that a gang of men is chasing another man nearby. That man runs and falls, and the gang drives a car right over him, crushing him to death. Watching this, Joey's breath stops in her throat. Now the gang members begin walking toward her. Joey could have started the car and driven away to save herself, but she does not do that. She wants to help the injured man still lying on the road, so she quickly gets out of the car and puts the man inside. But before she can drive away, the gang reaches her. They grab Joey and start harassing her. Then, right in front of her eyes, they brutally beat the injured man to death. Joey is terrified and tries to run. But the gang leader, a man named Trey, takes aim and shoots her directly in the leg so she cannot escape. Joey falls to the ground in pain. The gang then takes Joey to their hideout. There they tie her to a bed using barbed wire. The sharp wire digs deep into her hands and wrists. They torture Joey in the most brutal ways possible and she is left writhing in pain. Meanwhile, Dean is getting worried. It has been too long and Joey has not arrived yet. He keeps sending her messages but gets no reply. Then his eyes fall on the last photo Joey sent him. In the background of that photo, he spots a board, and from that board he figures out her last known location. He immediately calls the police, shares the location, and begs them to find Joey. Back at the hideout, the gang continues to torture Joey one by one, leaving her in a terrible state. Then Trey tells Joey that she is not the first girl they have done this to. Many girls before her have been tortured and killed the same way. He says that in this entire area, his word is law. He tells her that he is the grandson of the colonel who wiped out the Apache tribe. Then he opens a cupboard filled with human skulls. He explains that all these skulls belong to the Apache people, cut by his grandfather during the war. He picks up one skull and shows it to Joey, telling her it belongs to the leader of the Apache tribe. Hearing all of this and seeing those skulls, Joey is absolutely horrified. And what Trey said is completely true. His grandfather was a military colonel, and 100 years ago, when American soldiers went to war against the Apache tribe, Trey's grandfather wiped them out without mercy. He separated their heads from their bodies and kept the skulls as trophies. And now, Trey follows in his grandfather's footsteps, tormenting innocent people without any reason. A little while later, the gang finds out that Joey cannot speak at all, so one of them says they should just kill her and be done with it. But Trey, the gang leader, says not so fast because he wants to torture her more. The two of them then make a bet and sit down to play a card game. Trey says if he wins, he gets to do whatever he wants with the girl, and if the other man wins, he can go ahead and kill her. The man agrees and they start playing. Joey, locked in the other room, hears every single word. She understands very well that no matter what happens, she is going to die here. So she thinks, why not try to escape right now? While the men are busy with their game, Joey struggles with all her strength, pulls herself free from the barbed wire, and quietly begins to sneak out of the place. Meanwhile, Trey's friend wins the card game. That means Joey is going to be killed. The man picks up a knife and heads to her room, but when he gets there, he sees that Joey has already freed herself and escaped. He starts searching for her and spots her from a distance. He catches her and stabs her multiple times with the knife, right there on the spot. Joey dies. The next day, the same old man who was selling handmade items on the roadside is out walking with his dog. The dog sniffs around and leads the old man to a spot where a body has been buried in the ground. When the old man digs it out, he realizes it is the same girl who had bought things from his shop just a few days ago. He carries Joey's body back to his home. He mixes together various herbs and applies the medicine to her wounds. This is where we learn that this old man also belongs to the Apache tribe. He chants some words and comes to know how cruelly these evil men killed this poor girl. After that, the old man begins performing black magic. He chants mantras and performs a ritual to bring a soul back into Joey's body. A short while later, Joey's body suddenly rises into the air. A soul has truly entered her, but Joey's face becomes terrifying. Her eyes turn completely black and she attacks the old man. However, the old man quickly throws something at her and knocks her unconscious. On the other side, Dean gets into his car and sets out to find Joey himself. He checks into a hotel in that same area and waits. Then we see Joey again. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself in a city area. She spots a public telephone nearby and quickly calls Dean. She tells him she is alive and completely fine. Because a soul has entered Joey's body, she can now speak. Dean cannot believe his ears when he hears her voice. When he realizes Joey is alive, he is overwhelmed with joy. But then the call gets disconnected. Dean traces the location of that public phone and heads straight there. Joey is still standing near that phone when she notices a police officer approaching. She starts walking toward him for help, but then she realizes that this police officer is not really an officer at all. He is one of the gang members. Seeing him, Joey is filled with rage, and this is where the real revenge begins. Joey follows the fake police officer into a club and stands right behind him. When the gang member turns and sees Joey, he is frozen with fear. He cannot believe what he is seeing. This girl was dead. They had killed her themselves. Then Joey's eyes go completely black again. It looks as if a dark soul has taken over her completely. The gang member attacks Joey first, but Joey is not the same girl she used to be. She beats him savagely, making him scream in agony. Then she grabs a glass bottle and tears open his stomach, pulling out everything inside, killing him right there. The club owner also tries to shoot Joey with a weapon, but she smashes a chair into him and knocks him out cold. In the next scene, Dean arrives at the location of the public telephone. He sees that police are already there. He asks them about Joey. The officer tells him that a police officer was murdered at this location, and the person he is looking for is not here. Just then, Trey also arrives at the scene with his gang. When he sees his gang member's dead body, he is filled with fury because someone had killed his man in the most brutal way possible. He has no idea who could have done it. Then Dean walks up to them, shows them Joey's photo, and asks if they have seen this girl. When the gang looks at the photo, Trey quietly tells his men to get this guy out of here, or he will be killed too. Then Trey walks over to Dean personally and tells him he is wasting his time looking for her because she has gone somewhere else. What Trey really means is that she is dead and gone, but Dean does not understand any of this. He insists that Joey is somewhere right here because she called him from this very location less than an hour ago. Hearing this, the entire gang is left completely stunned. They begin moving toward Dean to hurt him, but then a real police officer appears and tells them all to leave immediately. When Joey wakes up next, she finds herself inside a wooden house. On its own, a door slowly opens in front of her. When she looks inside the room, she finds every kind of weapon and tool. Joey picks up a bow and arrow and walks out. In the next scene, we see the gang. They do not want to believe that Joey has come back to life, but they go to the spot where they buried her just to be sure. When they get there, they find that Joey's body is gone. This terrifies them completely. Now they believe she is alive again, but the man who actually killed her still refuses to accept it. He says maybe a wild animal carried the body away because it is impossible that someone he killed could survive. Still, fear has already crept into all of their hearts. So Trey tells them all they should leave town for a few days, stay out of sight, and if the police find out about Joey, they will already be far away and cannot be arrested. They all go home to pack their bags. But as one of them is leaving, he notices that someone has shot arrows into his car tires, puncturing them all. He is terrified. He immediately calls his friends and tells them that he thinks the girl is here, right near him. And that is exactly what happens. Joey appears and shoots him in the leg with an arrow. He falls to the ground. Then Joey keeps shooting arrows into him until he is dead. After that, Joey walks away. When his gang members arrive, they see that another one of their own has been killed, and all of them burn with rage. Then Joey notices that her body is slowly rotting and decaying. She goes back to the old man and asks him what is happening. The old man explains everything. He tells her that he found her body in the grave, and at that time there was no soul inside her. She was dead, so he performed a ritual to call her soul back. But at the same moment her soul returned, another soul also entered her body alongside hers. And that second soul belongs to none other than the leader of the Apache tribe, who has been burning with the desire for revenge for 100 years. He will not rest until every member of the American colonel's family is wiped out. The Apache leader chose Joey's body because both of them share the same enemy. The old man also warns Joey that her body is rotting fast. She does not have much time. Whatever she needs to do, she must do it quickly. On the other side, all the gangsters now understand that Joey is not going to spare any of them, so Trey makes a plan. They will kidnap Joey's boyfriend Dean and Joey will come to them herself. Then they will trap and kill her. Meanwhile, Dean is sitting alone, missing Joey deeply and crying. But then Trey and his gang burst in, beat him badly, throw him into their car and start driving away. Just as they are leaving, Joey appears. She shoots an arrow straight into the neck of one of Trey's men. He is badly wounded and starts bleeding heavily. Trey and the man who killed Joey begin to run. Joey chases them and climbs right onto their moving car. A fierce fight breaks out between Joey and the man who had killed her. He stabs her with a knife several times, but it has absolutely no effect on her. His eyes go wide with disbelief. Joey is just about to finish him off when Trey suddenly slams on the brakes. Joey flies off the car and hits the ground hard. Trey laughs and drives the car over her body multiple times, but nothing happens to her. Trey is stunned and realizes she simply cannot be killed this way. So he speeds away and reaches his hideout, where they have Dean tied up and locked away. The gang member Joey had shot in the neck is also there, writhing in pain. They refuse to take him to a hospital, fearing that his treatment will reveal their location. Trey's friend then tells him that when he looked into Joey's eyes, they were completely black. It looked like a soul had entered her through some kind of magic. Hearing this, Trey immediately figures out that it must be the work of that old man who sells handmade goods. Trey says he knows an old man who lives in the same area where they buried Joey's body, and he is certain that man is behind all of this, because that old man is also a member of the Apache tribe, and he must have brought a soul back into Joey's body. Trey is now truly shaken. He understands that Joey is coming for him, so he hires a large number of armed men, all carrying heavy weapons to protect himself. Meanwhile, Joey is taping her rotting body back together with tape. Then, right in front of her, the soul of the Apache tribe leader appears. He gives her 2 ancient weapons that were used in battle long ago. Night has fallen. Trey's injured friend secretly decides to sneak out and go to the hospital on his own. He quietly takes his car and drives off, terrified that Joey might appear in front of him on the road. And that is exactly what happens. Joey suddenly appears in front of his car and hurls a rod straight at him. It pierces through his stomach. The car spins out of control, flips over, and Trey's man dies on the spot. On the other side, Trey begins taunting Dean and telling him everything. He tells Dean exactly how they all wronged his girlfriend, how they tortured her and made her suffer. Hearing all of this, Dean breaks down completely and cries for everything Joey went through. A little while later, Trey gets the alert that Joey has reached their location. When he sees her coming, he puts all his men on high alert. But Joey moves through them one by one, killing each of them without stopping. Trey desperately searches for his friend but finds out that Joey has killed him too. Then Joey walks up to Trey and holds out her hand. In it is the heart of the man who stabbed Joey to death with a knife. Right there, in front of Trey's eyes, Joey eats his friend's heart. Trey is so horrified that he loses all control. He runs outside in a panic. Outside, a police officer tells him to stop and stay calm. But Trey pulls out his weapon and shoots the officer dead, then flees. After that, Joey goes back to Dean. Dean sees her and breaks into tears. He begs her to stay with him, but Joey does not have much time left. She still has unfinished business and she leaves. Meanwhile, Trey goes straight to the old man and holds him at gunpoint, demanding to know how Joey came back to life. The old man tells him everything truthfully. He also tells Trey that the soul inside Joey right now is the soul of the Apache tribe leader, and it will not rest until Trey's entire family is destroyed. Furious, Trey demands to know how to stop all of this. The old man tells him that if he wants to survive, he must burn all the Apache skulls. Only then will the soul leave Joey's body. After that, the police arrive at the location where Trey had shot the officer. When they enter the house, they find Dean tied up with rope. They free him, and Dean explains the entire situation to them. Meanwhile, Joey reaches Trey's home and kills his family as well, because the Apache soul inside her will not stop until every last member of Trey's bloodline is gone. Now Trey, following the old man's instructions, gathers all the Apache skulls and throws them into a pit to burn them. But then he realizes that one skull is missing. The most important one, the skull of the Apache tribe leader himself. Just then Joey appears, holding that very skull in her hand. Trey is terrified out of his mind. In desperation, he grabs a chainsaw and lunges at her to fight. A massive final battle breaks out between the two of them. Joey cuts off one of Trey's arms. Trey drives the chainsaw completely through Joey's body, splitting her in two, but Joey does not even flinch. After that, Joey strikes Trey again and again with full force until she slices through his throat entirely. And finally, Trey is dead. Joey's revenge is complete. The Apache tribe leader's revenge is complete too. A little while later, Dean also arrives at the spot called there by the old man. He sees half of Joey's body lying in the ground. He tells her softly that he loves her very much. Then he burns Joey's body. And the moment he does, Joey's soul and the Apache leader's soul both find peace at last, because their revenge is finally done. Dean had no idea about most of what had been happening around him, so the old man sits down and tells him everything. He tells Dean what happened to Joey, what she went through, and why she had to do what she did. And with that, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure you hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single video, and drop a comment below telling us what movie you want us to cover next. We will see you in the next one. Take care.